What happens when one of Hollywood's most media-trained stars sits across from a host who refuses to let him skate by with safe answers? Make sure to subscribe to The Uncovered Angle and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The audience erupts as Tom Cruise walks out, smiling, waving, calm, and controlled. He sits across from Sunny Hostin, who greets him warmly, but there's focus in her eyes. Sunny, Tom, you've been doing high-risk stunts for decades. At this point, is it passion, or is it about proving something? Tom smiles. It's passion. I love filmmaking. I love giving audiences something real. Sunny, real or extreme? Light laughter from the audience. Tom, prepared. Calculated. Nothing I do is reckless. Sunny nods. But you insist on doing them yourself. That's control. Tom's smile tightens slightly. That's responsibility. Sunny, responsibility to who? The production? Or your image? Audience murmurs. Tom, to the audience. They deserve authenticity. Sunny leans forward. You've built a career on control. Your films, your stunts, your public appearances. Tom, I call it commitment. Sunny, some former collaborators have called it overpowering. The crowd reacts with a low "oh." Tom's posture straightens. I work closely with directors. That's collaboration. Sunny, but you have final say, don't you? Tom pauses. I'm a producer. I'm involved. Sunny, heavily involved. Tom, yes. There's a beat. The tone subtly shifts. Sunny, let's talk about influence. You're not just an actor. When you speak, especially about personal beliefs, people listen. Tom's expression grows more guarded. I've always been open about what I believe. Sunny, and some of those moments sparked major backlash. Tom, I've had passionate interviews. Sunny, passionate or dismissive? The audience reacts, some claps, some nervous laughs. Tom, I've grown. Sunny, do you regret how strongly you spoke about certain mental health treatments? The room goes quiet. Tom exhales slowly. I spoke from personal experience. Sunny, but you spoke in absolutes. Tom, because I believe what I was saying. Sunny, intent and impact are different. That lands hard. Tom leans forward slightly. I never intended harm. Sunny, but do you acknowledge impact? A pause. Longer this time. Tom, impact can be interpreted in many ways. The audience murmurs, not fully satisfied. Sunny, for people struggling with mental health, it's not interpretation. Tom's tone sharpens just a touch. I've always encouraged people to think for themselves. Sunny, but when someone with your platform questions medical practices publicly, that carries weight. Tom, are we here to talk about a film or rehash 20-year-old headlines? There it is. The first clear crack. The audience reacts, louder this time. Sunny stays steady. Growth matters. If you've evolved, say how. Tom's jaw tightens. I've learned to listen more. Sunny, then listen now. Do you understand why people felt dismissed? Another pause. Tom, I understand people have strong feelings. Sunny, that's not the same as understanding harm. The tension is real now. No shouting, just sharp edges. Tom shifts in his seat. Sunny, I respect your perspective, but I won't apologize for having beliefs. Sunny, no one asked you to apologize for believing. I'm asking if you take responsibility for influence. Silence. You can hear someone in the audience whisper, wow. Tom finally responds, voice firmer. I take responsibility for my work. I stand by who I am. Sunny doesn't blink, even if people were hurt. Tom looks directly at her. I can't control how everyone feels. The audience reacts again, divided. Sunny folds her hands calmly. That's honest. But the atmosphere is no longer relaxed. The smiles are gone. The polite tone has faded. Tom nods once. Is there anything about the movie you'd like to discuss? A few nervous laughs break out. Sunny gives a small smile. We'll get there. And just like that, you can feel it. The interview isn't promotional anymore. It's personal. Tom's last line is still hanging in the air. Is there anything about the movie you'd like to discuss? A few nervous laughs ripple through the audience, but the tension hasn't eased. Sunny gives a measured smile. Sunny, we will talk about the film, but our viewers expect real conversations too. Tom nods slowly, and I'm here for that. Sunny, good. There's a brief pause. You can feel both of them recalibrating. Sunny, you said you've learned to listen more. What changed? Tom inhales, choosing his words carefully. Time. Experience. Being in this industry for as long as I have, you realize not every debate needs to be a fight. The audience reacts lightly to that. Some knowing chuckles. Sunny, but in the past, you did fight. Tom, I defended myself. Sunny, very strongly. Tom, because I felt misrepresented. Sunny tilts her head. Or challenged. Tom's eyes narrow slightly. Not aggressively, but noticeably. Being challenged is fine. Being caricatured isn't. Audience murmurs. Sunny, do you think you were caricatured? Or do you think the intensity caught people off guard? Tom, when clips get replayed over and over without context, yeah, it becomes something else. Sunny, so it's the editing? Tom shakes his head slightly. No, it's the focus. People love moments of conflict. Sunny, we're not looking for conflict. Tom gives a quick, tight smile. It feels like it. A few audience members clap at that. Others stay quiet. Sunny, you've had decades of positive press. Massive box office success. You're one of the most powerful actors in Hollywood. Do you feel misunderstood? Tom pauses longer this time. Tom, I feel simplified. Sunny, explain that. Tom, people reduce you to one moment. One headline. One intense interview. But you're a human being living a full life. Sunny, that's fair. But those moments were public. They weren't private conversations. Tom, I know. Sunny leans forward slightly. So, do you think the public has a right to question you? Tom doesn't hesitate. Yes. Sunny, and to criticize you? Tom hesitates just a fraction. Yes. Sunny, even strongly? Tom exhales. Yes. The audience applauds that answer. Sunny, then why does it seem like you bristle when it's brought up? There's a soft "oh" from somewhere in the crowd. Tom's expression tightens. Because sometimes it feels like no matter what I say, it won't be enough. Sunny, enough for who? Tom, for people who've already decided who I am. Sunny, or for people who are genuinely affected? Tom leans back slightly. You keep using that word, affected. Sunny, because impact matters. Tom's voice lowers a notch. Sunny, I've dedicated my life to entertaining people, inspiring people. Sunny, and you have. Tom, so to frame me as someone careless with influence, that doesn't sit right. Sunny, I'm not framing you. I'm asking you. Tom, it feels like framing. There's tension again. Not loud, but tight. Sunny keeps her tone calm. You're one of the few actors who has almost complete creative control over your projects. That's rare. That's power. Tom nods slowly. I've earned that. Sunny, absolutely. But with power comes scrutiny. Tom gives a small laugh. Trust me, I'm aware. Audience chuckles. Sunny, then why not say clearly? I understand why some of my past comments were harmful. The room goes quiet again. Tom's jaw shifts slightly. Because I don't believe they were harmful. That lands heavy. Some audience members clap. Others stay silent. A few murmur. Sunny doesn't raise her voice. Even if mental health advocates say they were. Tom, I respect advocates. I respect people's journeys. Sunny, but, Tom, but I won't rewrite my beliefs because of public pressure. The audience reacts, louder this time, divided. Sunny, is it public pressure or accountability? Tom's tone sharpens. Accountability implies wrongdoing. Sunny, sometimes it implies growth. Tom, growth doesn't mean admitting guilt for having an opinion. Sunny holds eye contact. When that opinion influences millions, it's bigger than opinion. Tom leans forward now, clearly more intense. Are we saying actors aren't allowed to speak unless they're perfectly aligned with everyone? Sunny, no. We're saying when you speak, people listen. Tom, and that's not something I asked for. That line surprises the audience. There's an audible reaction. Sunny, fame comes with that. Tom, I asked to make movies. I didn't ask to be a moral authority. Sunny, but you became one to some. Tom shakes his head slightly. That's projection. Sunny, or influence. Silence. Tom looks out toward the audience briefly, then back at Sunny. His composure is still there, but there's frustration now, visible in the tightness around his eyes. Tom, I think sometimes people want celebrities to be either flawless or villains. There's no middle. Sunny, or maybe they want clarity. Tom, clarity about what? Sunny, where you stand now. Tom, I stand where I've always stood. I believe in personal choice, personal research, personal responsibility. Sunny, including medical decisions. Tom, including everything. A mix of applause and uneasy murmurs fills the room. Sunny doesn't back down. Do you see why that answer makes some people nervous? Tom's voice rises slightly, not shouting, but firmer than before. Why should personal responsibility make anyone nervous? Sunny, because not everyone has the same access, education, or resources. Tom blinks, caught slightly off guard. Sunny continues. When someone with global influence simplifies complex issues to do your own research, that can have consequences. The audience claps at that. Tom's composure slips just a little more. I'm not simplifying anything. Sunny, it sounds simple. Tom, it's not simple. Sunny, then say that. There's a pause. A long one. Tom inhales deeply. It's complicated. And maybe in the past, I didn't always communicate that complexity clearly. That gets applause. Sunny nods. That's all I'm asking. Tom looks at her carefully. But I won't sit here and accept that I've harmed people. Sunny responds evenly. And I won't sit here and pretend the conversation isn't worth having. The tension is fully present now. No smiles. No promotional energy. Just two strong personalities holding their ground. Tom adjusts his jacket, clearly feeling the weight of the exchange. Sunny glances briefly toward the camera, then back to him. Sunny, we're going to take a quick break. The audience exhales almost in relief. As the music begins to rise and the cameras start to pull back, you can see Tom lean slightly towards Sunny, saying something off mic. She listens, expression unreadable. Whatever he said, it wasn't light. And when they come back from break, this conversation isn't going to cool down. The show comes back from break, and the energy is different. The applause is there, but it's thinner, more cautious. Tom is sitting straighter now. Sunny's hands are folded on the table. Both are composed, but the warmth from the beginning of the interview is gone. Sunny, we're back with Tom Cruise. Polite applause. Sunny turns to him directly. During the break, you said you felt like the conversation was leaning toward judgment. Tom nods immediately. Because it does. Audience murmurs. Sunny, I appreciate you saying that on air. Tom, I don't like pretending when something feels off. Sunny, neither do I. A brief pause. Tom, I came here to talk about the film. I respect tough questions. But when it feels like I'm being cornered into admitting harm I don't believe I caused, that's not a conversation. That's a verdict. The audience reacts, some clapping, some shifting uncomfortably. Sunny stays steady. No one is handing down a verdict. But when public figures speak strongly about complex issues, they don't get to opt out of the follow-up. Tom's jaw tightens. I'm not opting out. I'm here. Sunny, you're here, yes. But you're resisting the premise. Tom leans forward slightly. Because I disagree with the premise. Sunny, which is, Tom, that speaking passionately equals harm. Sunny doesn't miss a beat. Passion isn't the issue. Certainty can be. That lands. Tom pauses, then shakes his head slightly. So what would satisfy this? What answer are you looking for? Audience murmurs louder at that. It's the first time he's sounded openly frustrated. Sunny, I'm not looking for a specific answer. I'm looking for acknowledgement that influence carries responsibility beyond intention. Tom, and I've acknowledged responsibility. Sunny, for your films. Tom, for my platform. Sunny, but not for impact. Tom's voice sharpens. Because impact can't be measured the way you're suggesting. Sunny, mental health professionals would disagree. Tom exhales sharply through his nose. We're going in circles. Sunny, then let's move forward. She shifts slightly in her chair. Sunny, do you believe celebrities should avoid discussing personal beliefs publicly? Tom answers quickly. No. Sunny, even when those beliefs contradict medical consensus. The audience goes very quiet. Tom hesitates for just a fraction of a second. People are allowed to question systems. Sunny, of course. But questioning is different from dismissing. Tom, I didn't dismiss anyone's experience. Sunny, you dismissed certain treatments. Tom's tone rises another notch. I question them. Sunny, on national television. Tom, yes. Sunny, with certainty. Tom, because that was my experience. The audience reacts loudly now, a mix of applause and tension. Sunny doesn't raise her voice. Your experience isn't universal. Tom runs a hand briefly over his knee, clearly trying to keep his composure. I never claimed it was. Sunny, but you spoke like it was. That line hits hard. Tom leans back, visibly frustrated now. This is exactly what I mean. You're telling me what I meant instead of asking. Sunny, I am asking. Tom, no, you're framing. Audience gasps softly. Sunny, Tom, I'm not your enemy here. Tom, it feels adversarial. Sunny, accountability can feel uncomfortable. Tom gives a short, incredulous laugh. So now I'm uncomfortable with accountability? Sunny, you seem uncomfortable with the question. Tom's voice tightens. I'm uncomfortable being told that expressing personal belief equals causing damage. Sunny, not expressing. Broadcasting. There's another heavy silence. Tom looks out at the audience again, almost searching for support. Some nod. Some look uncertain. Tom, so what's the alternative? Silence? Actors shouldn't speak? Sunny, actors should understand the weight of their words. Tom, I do. Sunny, then why is it so hard to say you understand the criticism? Tom pauses. A long one. Tom, I understand the criticism. Sunny, and? Tom, and I don't agree with it. A wave of mixed reactions rolls through the room. Sunny nods slowly. That's clearer. Tom, good. But the tension hasn't dropped. If anything, it's sharper now. Sunny, do you think your status has shielded you from consequences? The audience gasps louder than before. Tom's eyes widen slightly. What consequences? Sunny, career consequences. Tom, my career speaks for itself. Sunny, exactly. Tom leans forward again, this time visibly irritated. So now success is evidence of avoidance? Sunny, sometimes power protects itself. The audience reacts strongly. Applause from one side. Uneasy murmurs from another. Tom's composure cracks just a little more. That's an assumption. Sunny, it's a question. Tom, it sounds like a conclusion. Sunny, Tom, if you feel attacked, say that. Tom doesn't hesitate this time. I do. The room freezes for a second. Sunny nods. Okay. Tom continues, voice controlled but firm. I feel like no matter what I say, it's going to be reframed as insufficient. Sunny, that's not my intention. Tom, intent and impact are different. The audience reacts loudly at that, recognizing the callback to her earlier words. Sunny pauses. That one landed. Sunny, fair point. There's a rare moment where both of them just look at each other without speaking. Tom continues, more measured now, but clearly emotional underneath. I've worked for 40 years to build something meaningful. I care about people. I care about the audience. I care about the work. To suggest I've been careless with human lives, that's serious. Sunny softens slightly, but she doesn't retreat. And to the people who felt dismissed, that was serious too. Tom nods once. I can respect that they felt that way. Sunny, even if you disagree. Tom, even if I disagree. The tension doesn't disappear, but it steadies. Sunny glances briefly toward the producers off camera, then back at Tom. Sunny, let's pivot slightly. Tom exhales quietly. Sunny, do you think the culture today is less forgiving than when you started? Tom thinks for a moment. Yes. Sunny, in what way? Tom, there's less room for nuance. Everything becomes a headline, a clip, a side. Sunny, and where are you in that? Tom, usually on one of those clips. A few audience members laugh. Sunny, and today? Tom gives a tight smile. Feels similar. The crowd reacts again. Sunny, we're almost out of time. Tom nods. Sunny, if there's one thing you want people to understand about you now, in this moment, what is it? There's a long pause. The longest of the interview so far. Tom looks straight ahead. Tom, that I'm not the villain some people decided I was. A heavy silence follows. And you can feel it. This isn't over. Not even close. The silence after Tom's last line lingers for a few seconds. That I'm not the villain some people decided I was. The audience doesn't immediately clap. Some nod. Some look unsure. Sunny studies him carefully before speaking. Sunny, I don't think most people see you as a villain. Tom doesn't respond right away. Sunny continues, calm but direct. I think people see you as powerful. And power makes people ask harder questions. Tom exhales. His shoulders drop slightly, not defeated but tired. Tom, hard questions are fine. I just don't think disagreement should equal condemnation. A few audience members clap. Sunny nods. And I don't think accountability equals condemnation. Another ripple through the crowd. There's a brief pause. The edge is still there, but it's steadier now. Less explosive, more reflective. Sunny, let's end this here. You said you stand by your beliefs. You said you understand the criticism, even if you don't agree with it. Tom nods. That's fair. Sunny, and you're proud of the work. Tom, very. Sunny gives a small smile. Tell people why they should see the film. It's the first time the conversation has clearly shifted back to promotion. Tom seems relieved but still guarded. It's a story about resilience, about pushing limits, about teamwork, and I think audiences need stories that bring them together. There's applause. Stronger this time. Sunny, do you feel like today brought people together? A few audience members laugh nervously. Tom gives a half smile. Probably not everyone. Sunny, that's honest. Tom, but conversations don't have to be comfortable to be valuable. That gets real applause. Sunny nods slowly. I agree with that. There's a noticeable easing in the room. Not warmth, but mutual acknowledgement. Sunny turns to the camera. Tom Cruise, everyone. The audience applauds. Some stand. Some remain seated. It's respectful, but mixed. Tom stands, shakes Sunny's hand. The handshake is firm, polite, but not especially warm. He gives a quick wave to the audience before walking off stage. As the show cuts to the next segment, you can see Sunny exhale and adjust her notes. Within minutes, clips of the exchange are already circulating online. On social media, reactions explode. Some viewers post, Sunny held him accountable. Others write, Tom was ambushed. Clips of him saying intent and impact are different start trending. So does the moment he said, I feel attacked. Comment sections divide quickly. Some praise Sunny for not backing down. Others accuse the show of trying to provoke him. Entertainment outlets run headlines like tense exchange on daytime TV and Tom Cruise pushes back during heated interview. By the end of the day, the interview is everywhere. Sources close to the production say Tom left immediately after taping. No backstage photos. No extended chat. Professional, but distant. Neither Tom nor Sunny post about it that evening. But the conversation keeps going without them. Was he defensive? Was she too aggressive? Was it fair? Was it overdue? And that's the thing about live television. Once it airs, it belongs to everyone. What started as a promotional stop turned into a real debate about influence, accountability, and celebrity power. No shouting, No walk-off, just tension that felt very real. Now I want to hear from you. Was Tom justified in standing firm? Or was Sunny right to press harder? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to The Uncovered Angle for more real talk show stories.